It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for Previously on Big Brother.
I can see you guys. Everything's working on my end.
Hooray! Yay!
Perfect. Greg Cherry, Jeff Meacham, Maddie Laws, and of course the ever wonderful Ella J joining us today. We're going to be talking some BB26. Because we talk wrestling and sports a lot on this show. Don't get me wrong. We're going to get into sports because I got a rib on Maddie. Because
I have no comment on sports.
That was a wonderful game of field goals, Greg.
Hey, it worked week 1 too. And then Jeff's got no comment about the Cowboys, but it's okay.
Well, I have comments. I just can't get us off YouTube or Twitter by doing so. So I'm gonna be a good boy and be quiet.
Yeah, that's fair.
40.
But
How about them Cowboys?
Oh God, just rough weekend. Oh boy.
Hey, how about them Irish coming back and whooping on Purdue?
That was delightful. I'm not gonna lie. That was nice to see.
Whooping on. That was an unaliving of a football program.
Let me tell you that prior to this past Saturday's game, I'm going to South Bend this weekend.
Oh, nice.
After watching Northern Illinois lose, or Northern Illinois beat Notre Dame, I almost canceled the tickets. Right. I was like, that was so depressing. And then Notre Dame, beats Purdue 66-7. It's like, okay, you guys won me back over. Fine, I'll go.
Just a rough week, but they came back with a vengeance.
It's wild to beat a team by almost 10 times.
It really is. But we are going to talk Big Brother. Ella is a big reality show fan.
Yes. And today, I'm literally tonight is also the season premiere of Survivor and then Dynamite and Big Brother. So I'm going to be like,
right.
So as somebody who has never seen a single episode of Big Brother, I've seen Survivor. Survivor used to be my shit. But Big Brother, can you explain to me in a nutshell what it is other than a bunch of people living in a house?
It's very similar to Survivor, but indoors.
Yes. Do they do a bunch of like games or
challenges?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a thing called, so instead of getting an immunity necklace, there would be a thing called a head of household. They win a competition, they win head of household. Then they nominate 2 of the players for eviction. And then there's a thing called the power of veto, which gives the people on the block to win the power of veto, and either there's other people playing. They can either take one of the nominees off or keep the nominations the same. Then come Thursday is the eviction, where whichever 2 house guests are left on the block, the rest of the remaining house guests that are non-HOH vote which to evict. So it's similar to Survivor, but there's some added steps, and it's indoors. I mean, they're competitions. They technically have an enclosed backyard, but most of the action is in the house.
Now, I know Big Brother's been going for what? You said this is season 26, 28?
Yep, 26.
In the U.S., it's been going since 2000, so.
Yeah. So is it like the longest running reality show that we have?
Or no?
No.
Isn't? Because isn't Real World still going?
Is it?
Oh. Real World's going in some form, I think, but hell, Survivor's on season 47 or some shit.
Yeah, Survivor and Big Brother came out the same year.
Well, right, but they've done more Survivors.
Yeah,
because
they do 2 seasons per year. We did have 1 year where we had, actually a couple of years we've had 2 seasons. Seasons 9 and 10 were in the same year, and then there's been some spin-offs of Big Brother, like Reindeer Games we had last year, and then Big Brother
After Dark.
Over the Top. Man, I miss Big Brother After Dark. That's not even like that's not a show. It used to be on the channel Showtime, where from midnight to 2 a.m. I think.
Yeah, they just let the cameras roll.
Yeah, I miss After Dark, man.
Me too. And when I was not in a good employment situation, I used to watch Big Brother After Dark because I was like, hey, I don't have to be up early.
Yeah.
So especially season 17 is probably one of my favorites. Season 16 and 17 were 2 back-to-back really good seasons of Big Brother.
I agree. A lot of the house guests who don't know about Big Brother when they're in sequester. So at the beginning, sequester is like you're basically off by yourself, getting ready for the season. You don't have contact with the other house guests. They will give them like tapes. The only thing they can really watch is tapes to old seasons. And most of the time production gives them season 16, which is if you know the gameplay in that, that we've seen prevalently in the newer seasons where you have a big alliance who wants to control the game early on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this new era, new generation of Big Brother is really a lot of it comes from the season 16 gameplay, even by production. I'm really into it, as you can tell.
Yeah, I was telling Greg Fair, one of our longtime associates, Stat Boy, has tried out every year up until he left California. Obviously, he tried out for Big Brother. It just never happened for him for a variety of reasons. But there was a point. There was a time. At one point, Aaron and I were talking about, okay, we do our shows. We do the shows we were doing back then. But what if we did something like Big Brother or Real World where we just let the cameras roll and the three of us at the time move in together, and my co-host and I both looked at each other and went, nope. Nope. That would not have worked. It would have been live murder broadcasts. No, not good. But I love watching Big Brother when I get to I'm not a avid reality show person, period, unless you count wrestling, which whatever. But when I do see Big Brother or Survivor, I'm always intrigued because the guys and gals that are on these shows are just, they're so much braver than I. Like they have
the ones on Survivor. The ones on Survivor, they're out in by the ocean.
Survivor I can never do because of my inherent fear of drowning, which I almost did once at a beach. So I'm like, I'm good. When Ashley was on, and Ashley and I became friends after that, I had so much more respect for her. I'm like, girl, you got balls I can't even fathom. Like that's crazy.
Wait, which Ashley? Like
Mazzaro.
Heroes?
Mazzaro.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Ashley was part of a wrestling federation, I guess, for I don't understand federation except WWF. I never liked it, but there was an independent group that I was part of that she was our on-screen GM for a few months before she and my buddy Travis parted company on that front. But yeah, she had done Survivor before that, and her and I had become acquainted prior to Survivor. So then when she came back and we were working together, I was like, girl, I can't even fathom doing that shit. It just blew my mind.
Is Fear Factor still a show going on? I feel like I could do that.
They revived it for a couple years, couple seasons, but I think it's gone again. I used to watch that a lot growing up too.
Oh yeah, Joe Rogan was a mental case.
Yeah, didn't WWE do it?
Yeah,
I know they did on the original.
Hardy was on there. Yeah,
I think they did. They did a couple WWE episodes because
were they on the reboot?
The Hardys were on there. The Hardys were on there. I think. I don't think Edge did it, but I know Christian did it when he had long hair.
I have this memory of some reason of Alexa Bliss being on the revival, but maybe I'm implanting that memory in my own head by error.
I mean, you figure WWE stars do a lot of different shows. Like they did the Weakest Link a couple times back then.
Yes,
I watched all of them.
Oh, they need to bring back the Weakest Link, by the way. They need to bring back the Weakest Link.
But it's Lynch now. Yeah.
And
Jane Lynch.
It's Jane Lynch. So, and again, I'm not the biggest Jane Lynch person, but she's funny on there. She's great at the game show hosting stuff. She did one for I think it was NBC.
But Anne is the OG.
Oh, Anne's the OG. I love Anne. I love Anne. Her interactions with the 2001 WWF people were next level. Yeah. So good.
Daniel said Scare Tactics. Scare Tactics is also coming back to USA. I used to love Scare Tactics with Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, no, I'm not. And you mentioned Fear Factor. That's the one I could not watch a full episode of just because of the gross factor. Just some of the critters they'd make those poor people eat. Like I'm good. Ugh.
Yeah. So this was. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say I don't know why I loved watching it because I hated bugs too, but I've always been like a reality, like I used to watch like Project Runway, America's Next Top Model, like all these different reality shows growing up, and obviously Survive. A lot of them have like been done since then, but Survivor and
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
Brother have always been like the two big ones.
So Top Model, I can't tell you what season number because there's been like 40,000 seasons now, but there was the one season that a lady named Michelle Dighton was on. She ended up marrying Johnny Fairplay later on. Also acquainted with her through
Survivor and TNA too.
Yeah, and Fairplay was on, of course. Fairplay was on Survivor, of course.
Yeah,
but Michelle ended up doing some modeling for my ex almost mother-in-law, so we got to hang out on the regular. She was a wonderful lady.
Season 4, Michelle.
Season 4, Michelle. There you go. Thank you. So I knew it was an early one. Yeah, she did that, and then she also did Tough Enough when they brought that back. Another reality show.
Yeah. It's cycle 4, Michelle. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she is now married and has great, I think at least 2 kids, and she's just living her best life, man. I'm so happy for her.
That's awesome.
All right, let's get into some Big Brother talk because I gotta know, Ella, your thoughts on this season.
Okay.
I am so incredibly frustrated by how this season is going because it seems like you mentioned the gameplay is a little similar to 16, but I figured there was more strategy just from Derek alone in season 16 than all the rest of the house guests in 26 combined.
Oh yeah, this season is not known for its gameplay. It's known for the chaos and the drama. It's not known for the it's far from a boring season though. I've seen somebody like say, do you want a good strategy but a boring season or an entertaining where the strategy is all over the place? And honestly, I kind of prefer this season because it shifts from week to week. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything because the veto ceremony hasn't aired yet, but like even just now the vote was going to go one way for tomorrow, and now it's it's shifting going another way for tomorrow because of I don't want to spoil it, but I'm like, oh man, they're just so chaotic. But I love it.
I'm just trying to figure out.
That's on a day a week or
3 days a week.
3 days a week.
Okay, that's cool. That actually allows people to stay a lot more in tune with the cast and what's going on. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. I gotta give a lot of respect to those editors because they don't have much turnaround time to get those episodes put together.
No,
because you figure Wednesday to Thursday.
Yeah, veto takes place on Saturdays. Veto ceremony is on Mondays, and then from after the veto ceremony to the eviction, so much has happened. You can only fit so much in that live episode too, which is why I don't have time to go through and watch all the live feeds anymore as I used to, but I follow a bunch of Survivor accounts, so I'm caught up to date on a lot of the feeds info because there's a lot of feedsters and update accounts that I follow. But yeah, there's so much going on.
It's funny because Jen and I started Big Brother late this year, so we had a lot of catch up to do. So I was actively trying to avoid looking at your posts, Stella, because you were following along from the start. But we're all caught up now. I got to know your thoughts on Angela because I thought she was going to be somebody gone in the first 3 weeks. She's still there. And for some reason has people wrapped around her finger. She's going to win at this point because everybody thinks that there are bigger targets and she can talk her way out of anything. It's ridiculous.
I don't know about winning per se, because I still think there's 2 people that have a better chance than her. But she's the first person ever. Again, I thought, week 1, she goes after Matt, right? The house is like, what is going on? She has HOH-itis. She went crazy, called Matt out. I was like, oh yeah, her weeks are numbered. No, she's had not 1, not 2, but 3 people use the power of veto on her. That's the first time that has ever happened in the history of Big Brother. I think the most might have been 2 before or even once, but 3 weeks. 3 out of the first 8 weeks, people are using the power of veto on you. You didn't even win it. Other people are using it. That's impressive. But also it goes to, again, everybody just goes with the flow. Yeah, there's obviously 2 trios in the house right now, but Angela and Leah are kind of in the middle right now. And man, I don't want to spoil anything, but they're kind of in the driver's seat this week, because you have two trios on both sides of the house, and
Yeah.
Angela's kind of in the middle. Leah's used the veto on her, but so has Mackenzie.
So
I
did
miss
Tucker,
Tucker.
which
I miss Tucker.
Tucker using it on her while he was on the
Yeah,
block was mental.
crazy.
Granted,
Yeah,
he won the AI arena, so it
yeah,
looked like a brilliant strategy.
yeah, yeah.
But watching at the time, it's like,
Mhm.
are you dumb? You're dumb. What are you doing?
He was confident. The AI arena added some extra layers. That is not something that we had ever seen before. That was a new
That's true.
twist introduced this year. So the nominees had two chances to be safe, and at that time, that nobody was really beating him. So I kind of don't blame him. He's a physical. But who was he next to that week? That was what? That was week 4. Week 4?
Yeah.
Week 4, that was the week
Because
Cedric went
Cedric was
home.
Cedric was HOH.
Oh, that was week 3 then. So Kenny was on the block. Who was put up in Angela's place? I don't even remember at this point. But if you look at who he was competing against, he pretty much had Mackenzie, and
Yeah.
then she got taken off. Who the heck got put up next to her then? Because he tried to nominate Mackenzie. That didn't work.
And Cedric wouldn't nominate Quinn, which was what their
Yeah.
whole fight was about.
I don't even remember who he nominated now at this point. Doesn't matter. But whoever he was next to, he had a good chance of winning, and he did.
Yeah. It is just absolutely mental. And I mean, who is your pick to win? Because Jen and I do this thing where we pick two people at the beginning of the season before any competitions, before anything like that happens. Both of my picks are still there, and one of hers is still there.
Mhm.
So, who do you think's winning?
At this point, I think it's Chelsea or Leah. Leah, man, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's gonna happen later tonight. Leah is at this point after tonight's episode. Leah is gonna be the only one in this house that has yet to touch the block in any capacity. And that says something.
Yeah.
Chelsea's also has had really good gameplay. This week was a little bit of a test. It could have gone wrong her way. But I think it has to be either one of those. Leah's flying under the radar. She's had a good social game. That's what's kept her in this game so far, and other bigger targets in front of her. Chelsea's also, I think, been the most strategic person out of any of them.
Yeah.
But she does show a little bit of some emotions this week. She couldn't keep her emotions in check. I'm sure they'll be airing that either tonight or on tomorrow's episode. So she's teetering a little bit, but I think she's still definitely in control of her trio with Cam and Mackenzie. But there's a little bit of a tiff there that they'll probably air. So Chelsea,
Yeah.
if she can stay on track, stay focused, I think she has the best odds to win right now, though.
And it's funny because Chelsea is one of my picks. Cam was my other. And then Jen has Mackenzie. So the three of them working together is like, okay, can live with that. Her other pick was Matt, who got incredibly screwed
week 1.
Yeah. But hey, what can you do? Now you said you really enjoyed Tucker. Do you think that since Tucker's gone, that Rubina has stepped up her game?
Not really, honestly. I mean, she's grown closer with Chemo and Tikor, obviously, but again, most of them have just been floating through. Angela's been crazy, but like a Chemo, a Tikor, Rubina, Cam, those 4 especially, I feel like have been floating through. Leah stepped her game up a little bit in the last couple of weeks, making some moves, but I think those 4 have played it really safe so far. I mean, safe isn't necessarily bad, but
No.
she could be going home this week. So has she done enough? At this point, I don't know.
It's one of those things where you have to pick your spots.
Yeah.
And as loud as Angela has been, she's somehow survived. And that typically doesn't work in Big Brother. Sometimes you have to lay low for the first several weeks before you start making moves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like that would be my strategy. because it's a battle of attrition, really. You watch all the big targets go, and then you start picking them off one by one. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't understand the philosophy going right out of the gate and attacking like that. That seemed like it was the absolute wrong way to go because everybody's targeting you. Yeah, exactly. It's like that just seems silly to me, but it's been effective on occasion. So,
I mean, the best wrestling comparison I can make to Big Brother is the Royal Rumble, because you don't want to start going out. I mean, I guess a battle royal because everybody's there at the same time, but you don't want to go hard because it's going to be a long competition.
Yeah.
So you want to pick your spots. You want to take rests. You want to hang back when you can, because if you make yourself a target, you're out.
In that house, though, so many people, like even season 24, Paloma was in a power position the first week, but then by day 6, day 7, she was going crazy to the point that she took herself out of the house because she was having a mental breakdown. It's not as physically demanding as Survivor, but mentally, you're stuck. You're stuck in this house. You don't even have like the ocean or anything around you. You're literally limited to this little house in this backyard. So mentally, people in the paranoia, I feel like it's more paranoia than Survivor. It's more mental than Survivor. People go crazy in that house.
Well, it's funny. Big Brother almost feels like and a lot of the shows like that almost feel like a microcosm of what we all had to deal with for over a year in the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like we were all stuck. We couldn't go anywhere. And cabin fever became a very real thing. People were being hospitalized on the regular for that. And it is not human nature to be in captivity. Like even if you sign up for it, even if okay, I'm going to be stuck here for whatever it is, 16 weeks or whatever, your brain still goes, I'm stuck. Oh shit. And you just start unraveling. Some people do.
Add that with can I trust this person? Is this person trying to get me out? Are these alliances real? Who's lying in this? It's challenging your mental toughness, as they would say.
It absolutely is.
I'm trying to think of what else to ask about this season of Big Brother, because obviously I don't want spoilers. We're in jury now. Lynn is the first member of the jury. I mean, getting him out seemed like a priority early, so for him to at least make it to jury is a big deal. And plus, he gets a week of silence getting sequestered. So,
yeah, I feel like everybody who's left in the house, there's no really like bad blood between them. Like on a personal level, game level, people might be mad.
Sure.
But I feel like, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a bitter jury this year, but out of like the 9 that were left, it seemed like everybody got along at least, even though, game wise, they might have been divided into 2 trios with Leah and Angela in the middle. It seems for the most part on a personal level, everybody kind of respected or liked each other. So I think, I mean, who knows? People could go crazy in the jury house too, I guess. But it seems like this might be the most like a kind of chill jury house we've had in a while.
Possibly. I remember going back to all the way to season 16, Christine was a big headache to a lot of members of the house, and nobody seemed to care for her. Even the crowd, when she came out of the house, started booing her, which is very unlike the Big Brother crowds. They normally give everybody a cheer. She was not one of the ones, and also Erin the season before, but hers was very understandable why they booed her. But yeah, it's one of those things where I still can't get past. I remember Leah saying that she wanted Angela in the house as a jury vote, and now they're kind of working together. It's weird how it's almost like Big Brother is like politics if it were fun, because you have to talk people up. And you have to flip-flop as much as you can to get ahead. You basically have to bullshit your way into $750,000.
Well, also Leah's biggest allies went out back to back.
That's true.
So, and it's them and then 2 trios on both sides. So they're literally in the middle with each other. And you see that on full display with the veto this week. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves here, but people who don't watch the live feeds. So I gotta know, favorite Big Brother house guests of all time.
God.
Danielle Briones Donato. She's my favorite of all time. Obviously, her first 2 go-arounds were a little bit better personally. I love season 8 and season 13, Danielle. Shocker. I love her. Danielle Reyes is also phenomenal. I was so happy to see her back for Reindeer Games. So Reindeer Games is like a spin-off, like a holiday kind of themed competition. There's only 9 people. And honestly, it was really, really fun. I also people like gave me hate for this, but Nicole Franzel played really well, like both of her, like all of her seasons. You know, she kind of got screwed over in season 16 by Christine. And she wasn't a part of the bigger alliance, but like she played really well all 3/3.5 if you count Reindeer Games of her seasons. I enjoy her too as well. I know people don't like her. Obviously, I mean Dan's up there too as well. Dan Giesing, Dr. Will.
Of course.
Yeah.
And my all-time favorite, and I don't know if it was just because of the entertainment value, I'm a Johnny Mac guy. I love Johnny Mac in season 17.
The dentist.
I don't know what it is with dentists from Pennsylvania, but I seem to be drawn to them.
Oh.
If you know, you know. And well, you watch this.
If you don't know, why the hell are you watching this show? I mean,
exactly.
So that season was also the same season that Luchasaurus, aka Austin, was on. See, I know when I see Luchasaurus, I see Austin. I don't see Luchasaurus.
So how far did he get in his season of
Final 5?
Final 5.
He walked out without his shoes on. He was not expecting to be evicted. He walked out with his shoes on. You need to watch the clip.
That was one of the best evictions I think I've ever seen.
Did he just go?
No, wasn't that a double eviction that night?
I don't think it was a double eviction. It might have been.
I think it was because Julia went out first. I think it was a double that night.
Yeah, I think it might have been because Vanessa was the one to cast the vote because it was a tie.
Yeah.
So to see that happen and Johnny Mac thriving in the chaos, he was like a cockroach that season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does he have the record for the most evictions? Because he got evicted 3 times, I think.
No, that was Victor. Johnny Mac was only evicted twice. Victor, season 18, the season after that was evicted 3 times. Johnny Mac was just twice.
see, I thought he won the battle back twice.
There was only 1 battle back that season.
Okay.
There was 2 battle backs in the next season, season 18, which was the season that Nicole had Paul, Victor, Corey in them.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Why did I think Johnny Mac came back like 3 times? He won a veto like 5.
Yeah, he won a lot of vetoes.
So he was just so entertaining that season. Like I enjoyed like a lot of that season. Johnny Mac just made it better. Just his responses to Julie were classic.
If you ever do watch Austin's season of Big Brother 2, Maddie, Austin got into what's called a showmance. So like he got into like a romance on the show, but the girl had a twin. What's funny though is he didn't even realize that they were twins in the beginning. Like everybody else, like Davon caught on, Jason caught on, everybody else caught on that Liz and Julia were twins. Austin didn't. Austin was oblivious. That
was he just in different rooms at the same time?
No. So it was a twist to where the twins would switch out. There's a secret room called the diary room to where they go in for like confessionals and stuff. So every couple of days for the first couple weeks, the twins would switch every couple of days, and Austin was cozying up to Julia and Liz were playing Liz. He was cozying up to Liz, who was also sometimes Julia, and didn't even realize it while the rest of the housemates caught on. He's like, what?
It just comes with being 50 million years old, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because when we went on that when we were on the Jericho cruise together, and a friend of mine, not in wrestling, one of the friends of Paradise Kitty was on the cruise with us, and she recognized him from Big Brother.
Yeah.
The entire trip, every time they ran to each other, because he's not wearing the mask the whole time,
right?
She would just give him shit, and I'm like, can we just get through this fucking cruise without you picking up his poor kid? It was just so ridiculous because it was so many years ago between that and the cruise. It was funnier than hell though, and when I first realized it, because like I said, I'm not an avid Big Brother person, but I did know that he was on that show. So we chuckle about it, but man, I forget who it was now. It was one of the people that was there along with the band, and just the whole 4 days we were gone. It's like, oh my God, just let him be.
Season? Oh, sorry, Ella. I was just going to ask, what season brought you in?
I first started watching in season 6. So I was... that was 2005. I was 7 years old at the time. Should not have been watching Big Brother at that time. And me and my dad, my whole family started watching season 6. I remember the you guys won't know this, but the first competition I remember seeing was the pressure cooker one that went like, I think it went like 14 to 18 hours, something like that. That was Janelle's first season. So I started watching from there. Then the next season was All Star. So I've gone back and I've watched since then, but I've also gone back and watched every other season except for season 1, because that was a completely different format. Not even modern day. And season 1, they would vote. America would vote the contestants out each week. There was like the only thing that there was like food competitions. There wasn't even like power or anything. But there might have been like immunity stuff. But like each week, America would vote out who would be evicted rather than like actual gameplay. That didn't start till season like 2.
Yeah, so season 2 and 3 really ramped up.
With your whole family getting into it in season 6, was there someone specifically in it that drew you guys to the show, or like how did your whole family just find out at season 6?
I mean, I don't know. My parents could have watched it before then, but I didn't start watching till season 6. I don't know, Janelle. I mean, Janelle was on that season. I was rooting for her crew and Kaser and all of that. I'm still a little bit salty that Maggie won that season because I wanted Janelle to win. I was rooting for her back in the day. And then Janelle made it to Final 3 the next season again. And I'm like, Janelle got screwed. And so, Janelle was
7 and 8-year-old Ella had some struggles watching that show.
Yeah.
Whether it's 2005 on CBS or 2024 in WWE, justice for Janelle. Am I right? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I got to ask this. I asked your favorite. Who is your least favorite house guest of all time?
Oh, what's that one dude's name? Okay, hang on. I'm going to look it up. Hang on. I always forget his name.
I want to know.
Ella was taken back like, oh, this one got him right away.
I mean, like, if you're going to go, like, general, like, Aaron is, like, one that, like, you don't fuck with. But, like, no, Amanda, on that same season, you know, she also was involved in, like, fraud. She read, I remember seeing a news report that her and some company she was working for were like scamming like a bunch of people, and I'm like, what is going on? So honestly, a lot of the cast of season 15, like Amanda was terrible for tormenting Alyssa. And then she was a scammer, I guess, afterwards. Aaron, I don't mess with. I mean, like
season 15 did kind of suck in hindsight.
Sounds like it. Jesus.
Yeah, to have like 4 people already named.
So for context, this girl Erin that we're talking about was highly racist on the show.
Oh, there you go.
On the show,
so much to the point that Big Brother had to put up a disclaimer for the remainder of the season.
Multiple people from that season got fired from their real life jobs because they were that terrible.
Yep.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Now, as CBS as a whole, to be like, let's just put out this disclaimer instead of just taking her off the show for horrible remarks.
Well, she was. The thing is, they pre-tape. Well, actually, no, they don't pre-tape that. They pre-tape Survivor, but if I remember right, she became such an integral part of the show that like editing out her segments would have just completely screwed the entire process.
Yeah.
So Daniel makes a good point in the chat. I forgot Jesse Goddard from TNA was on that one season.
Jesse, he was on 2 seasons actually.
Of the bromance?
Yeah, of the bromance. And he's not my favorite guy in general. So I would just have to say him by default.
Okay. I have an actual answer. Like, obviously those two, but I was never a fan of Rachel Riley. Like, never. I found her to be so, granted, I did enjoy her on The Traitors. She was on season 1 of The Traitors. Maybe it's because she's matured since then. I did enjoy her on there. But I did not like Rachel at all when she was on season 12 and season 13. I thought she was really annoying. No one gets between me and my man. But Brittany's diary. No, that was literally a line. But Brittany's diary room sessions were really the best during that time. When she was kind of making fun of her, I guess. But I was not a fan back then. I did enjoy her though on the 2023 season of The Traitors, though, season 1.
You just brought that show up. I saw you talk about that on Twitter ad nauseum. So what is Traitors? Is it another show like Big Brother?
The Emmy Award-winning Traitors. Let's be clear on that.
Exactly. So do you guys?
I don't watch TV, so I don't know none of this.
Well,
do you guys know the party game of Mafia?
I'm familiar enough with it.
You've never played Mafia?
I never played it, but I'm familiar with it.
What is wrong with you guys?
I'm a hermit.
That's a perfect reason to play something like that.
I was gonna say it's like that, but real life. Okay, so it's kind of like let's say there's 20 people on a cast. At the beginning, 3 of them are appointed to be traitors, and the goal of the traitors is to not actually kill, but kill the faithfuls during the evening. They kill one of them off, and so they're eliminated. And then the next day, the faithful have the opportunity to kind of strike back and vote out somebody in hopes of them being a traitor. So in the process, it's called the round table. They banish them. So in the process, they could be voting out a traitor, or they could be voting out the faithful, which are the good guys. So if you guys have ever played the party game of Mafia, it's exactly like that, except the traitors are the Mafia and the faithfuls are the townies.
So I've not played it. I've not played it
similar,
I've not played it as a game called Mafia.
It's like Among Us too.
It's like a murder mystery kind of gimmick, yeah?
Yeah. And there's also challenges to where they can add money to a prize pot, yeah.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
There was a game like 20 years ago online called Cry Wolf, I think. And it was a very similar... Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically what it was.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I've watched The Mole too as well, Daniel. I'm caught up. The new season of The Mole just came out in June. It's on Netflix, season 2.
I just don't watch anything other than football, baseball, and wrestling. I am such a nerd.
I'm a nerd for reality TV. I watch The Circle, the new season of The Circles too. There's so much I gotta watch.
The last reality show I ever actually sat down and watched, and I think all 3 are gonna laugh, is the fucking Jersey Shore.
I love Jersey Shore.
Dude, Jersey Shore was like the hottest thing in the history of television for like that brief moment in time. Snooki got a WrestleMania moment out of it. We got the worst match in TNA history out of that.
We got an entire TNA.
Now I don't know
off of it.
I don't know about the worst match in history. Now Jenna Maraska, who was Survivor.
Survivor. Sorry, I was thinking. I was thinking that I forgot she was on Survivor.
Yeah. Jenna Maraska and Charmel was poison to the eyes.
But that match was not it.
No. Sorry, for some reason I thought Jenna Maraska was from Jersey Shore, not Survivor.
No,
that was the worst. Oh my god!
That gave that match like 10 fucking minutes.
That was the worst performance from somebody from Pittsburgh since Matt Canada.
That's right.
And he gave.
And that was prior to Canada. So there you go.
It was prior to Canada.
That was the only time I think in the history of the world I've actually agreed with Dave Meltzer on a star rating ever.
Minus 5 stars.
That was Alvarez, though.
I know.
Well, then that's even better because I actually enjoy Brian most times. Anyway,
let me put it this way: I could have a better match than Jenna Maraska did. I've had 2 in my life.
I feel like me and Greg could put on at least a 3-star match.
Greg's clip of eliminating himself from the Royal Rumble is a better thing than that Jenna Maraska Charmel match. Okay.
Yes, it was, because at least I took a bump.
That's right. That's right.
Onto a parking lot.
Which is
in
rough.
Context of Survivor, I love Survivor the Amazon is a great underrated season. But yeah,
yes.
going to wrestling. Oh, Jenna, I love you, but that was not it.
Yeah, that was
no good.
Even she knows. She has said that too.
So I wanted to ask you about the Traitors. Had they started filming season 2 yet, or is that still?
So season 3 was already filmed in June, and Nikki Bella is on it. There's
Okay, sorry.
I'll say who was the cast that you fawned over the cast on Twitter?
Oh, yeah, because Nikki Bella is on it. There's people from Big Brother, Brittany Haynes, who I was just talking about. Danielle Reyes is on there. There Tony Vlachos from Survivor is on there. Carolyn is on there. Boston, everybody knows Boston Rob. Boston Rob is on there, and Jeremy Collins is on there. From my Big Brother Survivor Wrestling World, and Gail Kim is on Survivor or Traitors Canada, which premieres on Monday.
So yeah, I was asking because I was curious if they'd already filmed that prior to what went down with. Okay.
That was filmed. Yes, that was filmed in June. I want to say it was a couple weeks. I met Nikki.
Oh wait. I'm stupid. It had to have been because I saw her at the Bourbon Room after that, and she said,
I met Nikki in Cleveland, and we talked about the Traitors for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't make my way around Cleveland too much. Like I saw you, obviously.
Yeah.
I talked to Bradshaw and Farouk, Ron Simmons, quick, and obviously I talked to Kurt Angle. I didn't talk to too many other people though.
Bradshaw, you mean the multi-federation superstar?
Yeah, John Layfield.
John Layfield is everywhere.
An 18-pack. Take my head off my shoulders.
Right? Seriously.
Didn't Roman Reigns do a filming for a reality show as well recently?
It was a movie.
Okay.
I mean, there could have been something else, but you talking about Mania?
I'm pretty sure it was the one that he did. Like I think Keke Palmer was also.
That's for a movie. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a show.
Yeah.
When is that movie coming out?
Probably next year.
Yeah, it just wrapped not too long ago, so it's probably in major post production. It's funny, I tried to watch Dancing with the Stars this week.
I used to watch that all the time.
I did too until we like the West Coast got screwed on the voting thing, but they actually made that better with Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I can't watch this year. The headlines are just so in my brain, like I can't. Make myself do it because Artem's not there, but Gleb's there, and I'm like
the way that Anna has to, or I think Anna has to wear her ankle monitor because she's a felon.
It's rough.
I'm just like, I don't know anything about this, but that's hilarious.
Can we talk about Emma Slater and the fact that she's compared with another older actor? She's with Reginald Val Johnson from Family Matters this year. She's 78 years old or some shit. Like
I haven't actually watched Dancing with the Stars season since Bethany Moda's season, which I think was like maybe 2017, 2018.
That was
a minute Eric. Ago. No, was Nastia Lukin? I remember watching Nastia Lukin's season. I don't remember if that was before or after that, though.
I think that was before.
Yeah, I think the last season I really watched was Bethany's season.
Yeah, I got disillusioned with that show almost immediately. The fact that I forget it was first or second season. How Stacy Keibler and her partner did not win that year.
Yeah,
Tony was like, we were talking about on XMV or whatever show we were doing. It's like, how in the hell they were so much better than Jerry Rice and his partner and Drew. Oh God, Drew's last name, Lachey, and his partner. I was like, and
that was the last season I think I ever watched was Stacey Keibler.
That was before I started watching. I started watching 08 around the Shawn Johnson season.
Okay.
I think that was the second season I saw with Shawn Johnson. It was like the year right after she like got back from the Olympics and all that.
Okay.
A long time ago though.
Yeah, and I felt, and my dad and I have gone around the horn about this. They, at one point, they had a string of either figure skaters or like ice dancers kept winning, and it's like they're ringers. They do this on skates, like they can do it a lot easier on foot. So they finally stopped doing that shit. So, jeez, I don't know.
I mean, fortunately, probably one of the best celebrities to do it was Alfonso Ribeiro. Let's be honest.
Which is why he's co-hosting now. So there you go. Yeah, you know what, Emma? Sorry, I said Emma because I'm thinking of Emma still. Ella, that's when we really stopped watching, when they let Tom and Aaron go, because then they brought in Tyra. I like Tyra. I liked her hosting Top Model, but she was a lot on Dancing with the Stars, like a lot. And then now she's gone, and they got Alfonso and Julianne Hough. Julianne Hough's doing like the up in the balcony interviewing, and Alfonso's doing the main hosting. I like Alfonso, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, when they let Tom Bergeron and Aaron Andrews go, I was like, okay, maybe not.
I'm trying to think. I had a follow up to that, but didn't Tyra Banks also host like a season of America's Got Talent?
America's Got Talent. Yes, she
did.
Yeah,
Yep,
I used to watch that show a lot too.
So did I. I think I stopped watching the season that comedian Tom Cotter lost to a group of dogs. But I was done. I was so pissed. It's like he's in the final two. He lost to a dog act that didn't really add anything since their first week.
Yeah, we actually watched last night's finale because we know it's not a real thing. We're not that unintelligent, but we swear to God, our pit bull pointer mix, she was watching the dog act in the finale last night. She'd been watching all season. Like, we'll sit there and put it on. She'll go in front of the TV. She'll just sit there, and it looks like she's watching. So when the finale was on, we're like, "Come on, Betsy, come on!" She ran out there, and sure as shit, she sat down. She actually sat and watched the TV. We're like, this can't be a real thing. This can't actually be happening. So we watched that show. My dad loves America's Got Talent. There's been a few judges that I could take or leave over the years, but the group they've got now is pretty good. They've got
is Heidi still there?
What's that?
Is Heidi still there?
Heidi Klum's still there.
Okay.
Sofia Vergara is in Mel's seat, and then Simon's still there.
Yeah.
Simon, I'm actually kind of glad he got the gig. I wasn't for it at first, but when he left American Idol, I'm glad he got America's Got Talent, because he's as much of an asshole as he comes off. He knows his shit.
Yeah.
So
it's still funny to me that Simon Cowell's big break in the music business was producing.
WWE.
Yes.
I didn't know that until a couple weeks ago, till I saw a clip on Twitter. I had no idea. This is like way before I started watching. I did not know that until I saw like a clip or an article on Twitter a couple years ago or a couple weeks ago. It's crazy.
It's so weird how, like, I don't think society gives pro wrestling the credit it deserves for bringing so much to the forefront of the world. You figure most major sports have wrestling themes in them. Baseball, when you walk up to the plate, they have their own theme songs. That didn't happen before, it happened in pro wrestling. So it's just amazing to me how important pro wrestling is to society in general.
Yeah, I do watch other stuff besides our own, because I can't stand watching myself. But every celebrity that they talk to that has been involved with wrestling, or people that are fans, as big as it was during the 80s, the golden era, as popular as it got, despite the questionable content in hindsight it got during the Attitude Era, I don't think wrestling's ever been hotter. It is so much a major part of the culture of this country and even around the world now. And it's much more accepted than it's ever been, ever. So I think a lot of that has to do with the people that are now at the quote unquote head of that table. You've got Roman Reigns, who is a very presentable face of a company. Cody Rhodes has got that boyish smile, God bless him, and his good genes from both sides. Dusty was a good looking man, even though a little bit, whatever. And his mom has always been awesome. You've got people in the executive suite of the company that are much more even keeled on all fronts than there used to be. So I'm trying very hard to dance around it. It is what it is. I'm trying because, Greg and I talked about this. When I first started, back in 2002, there was no political correctness from us in the internet wrestling community. I said so many bad things about so many people that were prominent then or are prominent now. I'm never going to get the opportunities that you have, earned for yourself, that Chris Van Vliet, that our buddy Denise Salcedo has earned, because they got in later than I did, and they understood how to play the game. You guys didn't understand how to play the game and not rattle the cages. I didn't give a shit when I was 22 years old. I didn't care. Yeah. And that was my mistake. So, but I so enjoy seeing the fact that wrestling is just accepted now. And because of the partnership with a legitimate sports league and under that umbrella, they're getting more push than ever. At the end of this year, going into next year, we're going to have wrestling on maybe not a major network, but the CW is still a prominent, a prominent channel. We'll still be on USA, and it's going to be on Netflix, which is going to be an interesting switch. I'm curious what's going to happen on January 7th.
We better still have our library of. How are they going to switch over? Are they going to switch over the library of Oh yeah, they are, because I wrote about this. They're going to be switching. That's going to take a while though.
Well, but you know what though, Ella, we didn't get grandfathered into Peacock like we were planning on hoping either. We had to re-sign up, and it's like, hey, I'm already an Netflix subscriber, so I'm good.
Yeah,
it's
same.
Like, what the shit? Having to not pay for the WWE Network and then having to re-up for Peacock, which again, on the surface, not a big deal, but the user interface changed so
completely.
In the switchover, it was like, I don't know what the hell am I doing here? And now we're going to be on, streaming one show every week on a streaming platform rather than broadcast television. It's gonna be an interesting change. And then whenever Tony makes this announcement, whenever the hell that's going to happen, sometime in the next week, it's like you've been saying that for 6 months. Make it in mind. Please, Warner Brothers, throw us a bone here this week. But yeah, it's great. There's wrestling on every night of the week, and if there's not a scheduled show on Sunday, there's generally a premium event.
Yep.
So it's wonderful. I love it. I love that.
It does drive me nuts, though, that AEW decides to run pay-per-views on Saturdays during college football season. I know he's busy on Sundays. I understand that. Sure. But, it's maddening to me how many times a Notre Dame game coincides with either an AEW or a WWE pay-per-view. Drives me nuts.
Well, blame Notre Dame for not playing daytime games.
Well, do play daytime games.
Well, not enough.
That's the thing. The only way it really gets screwy is if Notre Dame's not the NBC game in the morning, or if WWE's in Europe and they're both on Saturday mornings. Then you're doing it. So,
well.
Bad Blood, they're going to be in Atlanta, so they're going to be on mid-afternoon for us here in California. Unless Notre Dame has the late NBC game, you should be okay.
Notre Dame's off that week.
There you go. WWE, see, they're thinking ahead for you, brother.
But that's also Jen's birthday weekend, so I don't really know.
Same with Stat Boy. Stat Boy's birthday is on Bad Blood Saturday, actually. And it's also the anniversary of Hell in a Cell, which Mikey always tells us.
Yeah.
So, October 5th.
You have a birthday in October, Ella?
Yeah, the 26th.
So it's later than I thought. Okay.
So your birthday is Bound for Glory this year, then?
Yes.
Look at you.
I have a party that day, though, so I will not be watching Bound for Glory live.
That's fine.
That's okay. We're trying to get Aaron to go to Bound for Glory. We're trying to edge him.
You should. I went in 2022. It was really fun.
I had a chance to go when it was here in SoCal, but just the money wasn't there. But I do want to go. I've been to a TNA event, period, since Turning Point 2004 in Orlando.
Wow.
So, yeah. Got to get back
I've never been to a TNA show.
Oh, man. We got to find a way. If that Powerball ever gets hit, man, we got to just find a central location, just get everybody to a TNA show just once.
Yeah.
We've all been in AEW. We've all been in
TNA is the
WWE.
only one I need to go to. I've been to a indie Lucha Libre show.
There you go.
I've been to AEW out here. I've been to 2 Royal Rumbles and a house show for WWE. I need to see TNA. I wanted to see TNA for years.
Yes.
I only count seeing Ring of Honor because it was under the AEW umbrella. So I got to see some Ring of Honor technically.
Hey.
I got to see Ring of Honor when it was actually Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Lucky.
I wish I could have.
Yeah, they rarely did SoCal when it was independent Ring of Honor. They had that one joint show they did with Gorilla, which was funnier than hell. But it was a weekend that I don't even think I was here. But I would like to go see Ring of Honor still because they still have a lot of the quote unquote legacy folks, but never seen them. I got to see one WCW house show back when they were still a thing. But yeah, Royal Rumble is the top of that checklist along with going back to TNA. I got to see at least one TNA show.
You got to go see a Rumble, man. Rumbles.
Yeah, you have to see
a
Rumble live, even if it sucks. Because I got 2014.
Okay, I did the Big Four. I'm good.
I was there for Ronda and Brock.
Oh yeah, you got it worse than I did. 2022 was probably
I got Rhea and Cody. I'm good.
They've done both.
What'd you get?
I got Rhea and Cody. I'm good.
Oh, you were at that one?
Yeah, you had a better.
In San Antonio, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't bump into each other. That sucks.
Alamo Dome, baby. Oh man,
because I was at that one too.
What was the scope like for that? You guys in the because like you see it on TV, it's like God damn, that place is. Monumental.
I was on the floor. I don't.
Wow.
My co-host Cap really shilled out a lot of money to get us on the floor for that.
Yeah.
One.
How about you, Ella?
So initially I was in the press box, but I already had tickets before I found out I was in the press box. So I sat in the press box till about the start of the show, but then for the rest of the show I went and sat in we were in one of the 100s near the entrance ramp. So that was really cool to see them go down the entrance ramp and through there. It's so different like live though. I prefer watching it at home though, because it's so hard to like keep track of everything that's going on. You can't hear like what's going on. I prefer watching it at home, but it was great to experience it live because it's my favorite pay-per-view. But now I'm like, I prefer watching a Rumble at home.
Rumble. If you're working the event, like if you're trying to cover it for press, you got to get in the press box or stay your butt home. Yeah, that's crazy. Too many stats.
I thought that it was cool, but it was during like a big Def Rebel transition music wise. I'm sitting here going, who the fuck is coming out now?
I got to hear Metalingus for the first time, so I was happy.
Oh, there you go.
Mickey James.
I got that once, man, because that.
Were you there for Mickey James?
No, she was 2022. I was 2023.
Damn. That was Alicia Fox, right? In the 2023.
Yeah.
Alicia Fox? No, she wasn't in the 2023. Yeah,
Michelle
was in it. There wasn't a ton of surprises. Like Roxanne was in it.
Nia Jax was also at the end.
Yeah, Nia Jax with the botched countdown.
They botched her music.
They did.
They cued her music like 5 seconds before the countdown was even done.
Yeah. It's like, let's just send out Nia Jax already mad you botched her music. Let's just inflict that on the world.
The audience, the crowd hated it. They were upset.
Mm-hmm.
But they popped for Michelle coming out of the crowd and kissing her daughter and going there and doing her thing. That was funnier than hell.
Yeah. All right. It is 8:00.
Oh, shit, it is.
It's time for Dynamite. Thank you, Ella. I'll definitely have you back on when season 26 wraps up so we can recap the entire thing. But thank you again for joining us, Maddie and Jeff. As always, we'll get back to talking about football and talking about my trip to South Bend. Hopefully this time with a win. It didn't happen last time, but we'll get to talking about that. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the show. All 130 of you that tuned in. Appreciate it.
God bless
we will see you. Exactly. We'll see you next time on the Greg Cherry Show. Don't be a jag. I don't know how to get out of full screen from this view, so it might be tough. Hold on.
We're getting there.
There we go. All right. I figured it out.
Ta-ta.
This is only the second week we've used Restream, Sumi.